So we are, of course, mourning the loss of another law enforcement officer in Wyandotte County. It was Elijah Ming with the Sheriff's Department last month, and yesterday it was Hunter Shimoncic. He is with the KCK Police Department, and he lost his life while trying to pull a car over. He gets out, he puts out his stop sticks, and the driver, Dennis Mitchell, runs him over, and he loses his life. The KCK Police Chief, Carl Oakman, will be here in 15 minutes on KCMO Talk Radio. But right now we have Michael Ryan from the Heartlander joining us on KCMO, and this is the kind of stuff that you're not going to see from other Kansas City media outlets. For the second time in exactly a month, you have a Wyandotte County law enforcement officer who was struck down by a suspect who likely should have been in custody at the time. Michael, good morning. Take us through what you're learning about this.
Morning, Pete. Thanks for having me. Well, HeartlanderNews.com has learned that Dennis Mitchell, the suspect in yesterday's killing of Officer Shimoncic, was out on bond on a 2024 felony drug charge in Wyandotte County, which is not unusual. But records we've obtained show that Mitchell was arrested in Percival, Iowa, back on June 30th for domestic assault with bodily harm. So he's sitting in jail there, and he misses a court hearing in the Wyandotte County drug case. So a judge issues a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear. Iowa sees that, lets Wyandotte County know he's up there, and do you want to come pick him up? But on July 30th, Wyandotte County tells Iowa in a fax that we've obtained, no, we won't come get him. The fax said, quote, our district attorney's office has declined extradition at this time. Warrant will remain active for Missouri and Kansas only. So they're basically saying we're not going to come get him unless he's somewhere in Kansas or Missouri, not Iowa, despite what we're told is a standing policy in Wyandotte County to extradite felony suspects in contiguous states.
So you're saying that the policy in Wyandotte County suggests that the district attorney's office should have said, yes, we'll come get him from Iowa, and we'll bring him back down here and we'll jail him here in Wyandotte County, right? Is that my understanding?
Yeah, that's our understanding. The question is, why didn't they do that?
And is there any insight into that yet, or is it too early to tell?
No, we emailed the DA's office yesterday and haven't heard back. The other question is, would Mitchell have been in custody Tuesday if they had gone to get him in Iowa? Would he have been in custody Tuesday when he allegedly killed the officer? We don't know, but there would have at least been a chance.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. So tie this into then what happened. Elijah Ming, of course, the sheriff's deputy who was killed last month in Wyandotte County. Unfortunately, there seems to be a trend here when it comes to some of these criminals and the suspects involved being people who have rap sheets who arguably should not have been out on the streets anyway.
Yeah, this is a little eerie because, yesterday was August 26th, and on July 26th, Deputy Ming in Wyandotte County was shot dead by a man who our records indicate probably should have been in prison for 2 crimes out of Anderson County, Kansas last year. He's a man with a Class A violent criminal history. It's the worst you can have, who the prosecutor in Anderson County at the time, there's a different prosecutor now, let him go with a plea deal in a child abuse case and also a failure to register as a violent offender case. He allegedly then went on to kill Deputy Ming.
Now, Anderson County is not going to be your home for progressive prosecutors. So is this just more of a larger issue that we're seeing in prosecutors' offices around the country, regardless of what you would presume to be the political affiliation of some of these offices?
Well, it's certainly a question to ask in some of the larger areas, such as Wyandotte County. I've got sources in Wyandotte County telling me that recidivism, repeat offenders coming in and out of the system is just blowing up.
And that's been a big problem in Jackson County, too.
Yeah, and, this is not the first time that somebody slipped through the fingers in Wyandotte County and killed a law enforcement officer. As you remember, in 2018, a prisoner named Antoine Fielder was being transported in a criminal case when he grabbed a gun from one of the officers and shot and killed both the deputies, Tracy King and Patrick Rohr. Fielder had also been a suspect in several other killings, including in Missouri, and other violent crimes, including the 2015 killing of Overland Park's Kelsey Iwanis. The Wyandotte County DA's office twice tried to convict Fielder in the Iwanis case and failed, and then for some reason just gave up.
Wow. So, under DA Marcus Dupree there in Wyandotte County, I mean, is it fair to question? And we did a lot of this with Gene Peters Baker across the state line in Jackson County when it comes to the incompetency. I mean, are we talking about that level, or do you think we're not quite there yet when you look at Marcus Dupree and how he's run that office?
Well, Pete, as you may recall, I started my stay here in Kansas City in 2019 at the Kansas City Star editorial board, and at that time, I reported pretty heavily on Dupree's office and the turnstile there for violent criminals, and it was not an easy. It took me about a year to put it together, and it was not an easy couple of stories to write, and I got some pushback for even trying to publish them.
Is that right? You got pushback for even trying to publish stories, calling out some of what was going on in Dupree's office?
Yes. Some of my colleagues at the Star were concerned about the appearance of going after a black elected official.
Go figure. Well, I'm glad you're saved at heartlandernews.com. You're doing great work there. Our good buddy Chris DeGaulle obviously working with you as well in some capacity. So we're glad that you're here, Michael, and we appreciate your time on KCMO Talk Radio and all you guys are doing up there. Keep up the great work with under the umbrella of the Herzog Foundation. Of course, your show is on the weekends here on KCMO Talk Radio in the 1 o'clock hour. So nice job there, Michael. Appreciate the time.
Thanks so much, Pete.
Well done. Michael Ryan, heartlandernews.com.